Welcome back to Straight from the Agent. I am Johnny B. Good, the flip-flop agent, joined by my man,
Connery Calkins.
Oh my gosh, we are just killing it over here at Remax Edge.
We are.
And I mean, right, wrong, or indifferent, spring has sprung.
Kinda.
It's Michigan. It's Michigan. It's anybody's guess.
Yeah.
It's anybody's guess. But I tell you what, few nice days we've had.
Yeah.
Feeds my soul, baby. A little vitamin D, a little bit of sunshine.
It's not sun's not shining today.
Oh, that's Michigan.
True.
That's Michigan.
Yep.
What are you going to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Live in this godforsaken state. We have had tremendous feedback on our episodes up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I really appreciate hearing from people that, you know what? We're actually getting some value out of this.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's our whole goal.
Right.
Our whole goal has been to give you guys just a little bit of education.
Mm-hmm.
We're not trying to bore you. We're not trying to get down to the nitty gritty and you got to take out your pen and paper and have notes.
Right.
But these are things to be aware of.
Yeah.
When that time comes that you're ready to buy or sell.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's important. I think
agree.
that's important. An educated consumer is a better consumer.
Definitely.
I don't care what anybody says. And I think you would agree, we're not here to gatekeep a single ounce of information.
No, there's no point.
There's 0 point. And we're going to talk about, in this episode, maybe future episodes, we're going to talk about our strategies that we've used to help our clients get to the finish line.
Yeah. And
that's the whole goal. That's when we get paid,
mm-hmm.
And again, anybody that says like, oh, you guys sure talk about money a lot. Yeah, I have a job.
It's how we make a living.
This is how I pay my mortgage.
Yep.
This is how I keep my kids in all their sports ball activities.
And it's not guaranteed. We wake up unemployed every single morning.
Every morning. You got to eat what you kill, baby.
Which I love. I do too. I couldn't do it. I don't think I saw a TikTok the other day of like, oh, would you work completely remote for $100,000 or would you work in the office for $250,000? So I kind of thought about it as like, oh, would I do what I'm normally doing here with real estate
Sure.
or take a normal corporate job for double the pay? I don't think I would.
I really like my autonomy.
Yes.
And we probably should set up an episode where we can talk about, what's a day in the real estate agent's life like.
Mm-hmm.
And we can do that in a future episode.
Yeah.
But it is the level of autonomy that I have is really important to me.
Yeah.
Some would say, my parents, that I have a problem with authority. I don't like being told what to do.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if I have the capability to make my own schedule
mm-hmm.
and it all falls on me, if I'm having a crappy year,
you should have managed your time better.
I should have managed my time better.
Yeah.
I did not do what I needed to do. So anyway, enough of our blabbering. We're already several minutes into the podcast. We haven't even talked about anything yet.
Right.
So let's jump right into a buyer question. Let's see what we got today.
All right. We have number 19.
I always love it when I get a pre-laugh.
What's included in my monthly mortgage payment?
Oh, that's a great one.
All my questions have been mortgage-related questions.
But you know what? That is perfectly fine because that's an important aspect of it. So let's talk a little bit about that. So you have, and a lot of it depends on what kind of loan are you doing?
Yep.
How much money did you put down?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a whole different conundrum in and of itself.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're going to have your principal, which is your actual loan balance.
Yep.
The interest payment, which is calculated, or the interest that's calculated based on the total amount that you borrowed from the bank.
Yep.
And then typically you're going to have your taxes
and insurance
and potentially even like HOA dues.
Yeah.
Those are going to be factored in as well.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at your mortgage payment, that's kind of the cumulative aspect of what you're going to be paying.
Right. Yeah.
And I know when a lot of people get loans, they're like, why am I paying so much money in initially? Well, because you have to fund what's called an escrow account.
Yeah.
And an escrow account is they're going to say, okay, well, your taxes are this much and your insurance is this much and your HOA is this much. Mm-hmm. And they're going to look at that from an annual basis.
Yeah.
And then they're going to break that down into 12 monthly payments.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to add that to whatever your mortgage payment is, which is the principal and interest.
Yeah.
And so, you might have to put in an additional $2,500,
Mm-hmm.
$5,000, $10,000. Who knows?
Yeah.
There's a lot of variables that factor into that, but you have to fund that escrow account. So there's money in there for those upcoming payments.
Exactly.
So there's a lot that goes into it. And again, that's why having trusted partners that are lenders, that are title companies, that are working with you to ensure that they can get you to the finish line.
Exactly.
So, I mean, what else do you have about that?
I mean, really, it's just one of the things that I see a lot with buyers is the main talking point is the interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been the interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the interest rates are coming down, but people need to...
In theory.
We're
not lenders.
Right. Yeah, exactly. We're not lenders. But like I was talking to a lender the other day, the running average over the past 100 years was 7 to 8%.
Sure.
I'm getting ready to sell a house down in Macomb this summer, and they were the original owners, built the home, the whole 9 yards. Their interest rate was like a 13%.
Oh, I believe that.
Granted, $40,000 to get this house built.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like very different times, but it all comes out to what you need.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to buy a house. I was tired of living in my parents' basement with my wife.
Yeah.
So we saved up. We bought a house. We have a 7.1% interest rate.
Right.
Would we have loved to wait until rates drop to 3s, which I don't think they're ever going to again, but who am I to tell? I'm not a lender.
Sure.
Yeah, we could have.
Well, and nobody has a crystal ball.
Exactly.
Nobody has a crystal ball.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's all about what happens. People get divorced all the time, unfortunately. People pass away.
Sure.
People relocate for jobs. People just want to get out of a city and then go into a rural neighborhood.
Sure.
It all depends on what that person needs.
Yep.
They shouldn't be hindered by this interest rate. Yes, it sucks, but it's a lot better than paying rent for an apartment.
Sure. Sure. Well, and and you bring up a great point when people are like, oh, interest rates or this, that. There are literally houses that close every single day of the year.
Yeah.
There's a closing happening Monday through Friday. As long as the Fed's open, there's a closing occurring.
Yes.
Somewhere.
Numerous times a day.
And so people that aren't in the industry, or they're like, oh, I would never sell my house right now. I would never buy a house right now. Well, that's fine. You have that optionality.
Yeah.
Well, some people don't. Some people are forced for a number of reasons, many of which you just referenced.
Yeah.
So, yeah, while it might not be the right time for you, for somebody else, they might not have that optionality. So they have to sell. So I think at the end of the day, people are always going to be buying and selling real estate.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of the industry. And yeah, the ZIRP era, the zero interest rate percentage, the ZIRP era absolutely destroyed people's assumptions about buying and selling real estate.
I wish I would have been in real estate when COVID hit.
Whew. When you have, it was wild times. It was wild times. But let's understand that. I mean, if you have a sub 3% mortgage, that's largely unheard of.
Oh yeah.
And I understand why you wouldn't particularly want to sell.
Oh yeah.
If you don't need to. But some people are forced into it, and that's just the nature of the industry as it sits. So it's our job to advocate for the buyers, the sellers, for our clients, and get them the best deal that we can get them.
Yeah.
And then you can always refinance when necessary, or do what you got to do. I'm a big fan of always adding a little bit on to pay principal down.
Yeah.
With my monthly mortgage payment, and then make a 13th payment. So if your mortgage is $1,500 a month, when you have a little bit of extra money, you take that $1,500 and you make a 13th payment that goes specifically to principal. And you can sometimes see a standard 30-year mortgage get trimmed down by 10, 12, 13 years.
Right, yeah.
By doing that, if you do it consistently.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the more you can pay towards that principal, because all of these loans are all front-loaded with interest.
Yeah.
You're going to get your schedule when you close.
Yep.
Here's your 360 payments, and here's how much you're putting towards principal, and how much you're putting
the interest.
In interest. And it's heavily weighted on the interest side in the beginning.
Yep.
So if you start paying that principal down.
100%.
Get a little bit of extra money, get that equity built up in there. So when you do go to sell, you can walk away with some money.
Yeah.
And you haven't just paid the bank. You've also, helped increase your monetary I guess, compensation
Yeah.
when you go to sell.
Oh, definitely.
So there's a number of different ways to do it, but I think that's great. So yeah, if there's anything that we missed, let us know in the comments. If there's something that you're paying that we didn't bring up, by all means, let us know. We're not perfect and we don't know everything. So if you guys have something else that you're paying, let us know in the comments. We'll talk about it.
Yep.
All right, let's get to the sell side.
What do we got?
I don't know. Let's see. Not looking. Let's see. Scenes from a Hat. That's a Whose Line Is It Anyway reference. You're too young for that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're the worst. Okay. So number 25. What is the difference between list price and net proceeds? This is a great one. All right.
It is.
So what do you got? Lead the charge, my man.
List price is what the home is actively for sale for.
Oh,
dude,
come on.
It's fine.
Don't worry.
So like, for example, let's say that I have a $200,000 listing.
Okay.
That's the list price,
Yes.
$200,000.
Yes.
Now, if we do a price reduction down to, let's call it 180, that's the new list price.
Yeah.
Your net proceeds are what you walk away with at the end of the day. So typically what you're going to have is you're going to have to pay off your mortgage if you have one.
Sure.
There's going to be commissions involved. Typically, every brokerage has a transaction fee of some sort. Usually when I hear like, oh, I never paid that before, you most likely did.
Yeah.
The brokerage has to make money.
Well, it's not even about making money. It's about document retention.
Yeah.
You know, under the auspices of being audited, things of that nature. We have records that we have to keep to ensure that we're maintaining the licensing standards that are required for licensed brokerage in the state of Michigan. So
correct.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
Let's see here. Title fees you're going to have. So the title company obviously has to make a cut. Then you have your transfer tax, which is 0.86% of the sale. Then you have
the state's always going to get their money, baby.
Yep.
Always.
And then some processing fees in there. And again, every deal is different. If you have seller concessions, if you have repairs in there, if you have FHA or VA points that you're paying,
they're going to prorate
taxes.
Property taxes.
Yep.
So most property taxes in the general locales that we work are paid in advance.
Yeah.
So if your property taxes are paid up as the seller, you're going to see a proration there of the amount you're going to get back based on the date of the sale.
Yep.
So that's a big one. I think that's probably one of the number one questions that I get.
Yeah.
You know, why am I paying this? It's like, well, property taxes on the buy side, the sellers have already paid them and they paid them through this date.
Yeah.
So because this has been paid in advance, you're going to compensate them for that period they've already paid.
Yeah. That they're not owning the home.
Exactly.
And what I do, it's kind of astounding how many agents don't do this, which they should do it.
Sure.
Every listing appointment I go on, I always bring a net sheet and I walk through it with them. I give them a couple different examples. So let's say, like last night, got a listing that's coming soon in Waterford. We did a price point at what we're going to list at. Let's say we get an offer a little over. This is our net sheet. This is what you're going to walk away with.
Sure.
Now let's say vice versa. We get an under asking offer and it's the only offer. We're going to accept it. Here's your net sheet.
Sure.
So they have at least a baseline. They know roughly what they're going to get on a couple $1,000 scale. Then every offer that we get, when I present the offer, I present it with a net sheet.
Yeah, of course.
That is, and again, so they know what they're walking away with. That's
and let's talk to the agents that don't do that. Why?
Get your shit together.
Get your shit together. Because at the end of the day, the client, for all intents and purposes, we're leading them through the process. And whether they're engaged or disengaged doesn't matter. But they want to know, what's my check going to be at the end?
Yeah.
And so we need to make sure that we're disclosing that. Like, hey, with this offer, based on what the mortgage payoff is and based on the fees associated with the sale, you're going to get X.
And no one's perfect. When I first got started, no one taught me to bring a net sheet. To go over it with them. It's stuff that you have to do. And what I do, and again, this is just a tip to the agents, with my net sheets, when I go through with them at my listing appointment, I always have them initial it.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And then I scan it in because, God forbid, down the line, they say like, oh, you never told us about this.
Right.
Yes, I did.
Right.
It's better to document everything.
Yeah.
And not run into problems.
To protect yourself.
Yep.
And like we talked about in previous episode, clear communication.
Yep. Exactly.
We have to make sure that we're all on the same page here.
Mhm.
You know, I don't like surprises.
Yeah.
And I definitely don't like when my clients are surprised.
Yeah.
I need you guys to be on the same page as I am so that when we get to the closing table, all we're doing is signing.
Mhm.
We're signing and we're smiling. We're signing and we're smiling.
Yes.
That's all we're doing.
Mhm.
I don't want to have to go through and start making phone calls and everything else. We want to make sure that when we walk into that room and
Mhm.
we're at the closing table, we're getting it done.
Yeah.
We understand everything.
Exactly.
And that goes back to, you know, sending the closing disclosures to the client.
Yep.
You know, take a look at this. I've reviewed it. This appears to be in line
Mhm.
with what I was anticipating. I need you guys to review this line by line. Let's discuss it so that we're not having to
Do
have
it
these
at the
questions
closing table.
or these conversations when we're at closing.
Yep.
I want you guys to be comfortable and understand these are your numbers.
Exactly.
Can't beat it.
No.
You can't beat it. And I think a lot of it is just communication.
Yeah.
I don't know that we intended with that being our kind of
Answer.
our golden statement,
Right. Yeah.
you know, for this podcast, but so much of it is just good communication with clients.
And it's hard, and I get it. It's hard for all these newly licensed agents.
Sure.
You take this 40-hour course, you
Yeah.
pass the test,
And learn nothing about real estate.
absolutely nothing. And then
It's so true.
it's really bad.
It's so true.
I'm getting my broker's license this year,
okay.
because I'm hitting that 3-year mark in
Yeah.
a couple days, actually. And I'm curious how that course is going to be.
Sure.
If it's going to be the same thing, or maybe it'll be a little more in depth. I don't know.
I don't know.
But-
more power to you.
Right. But to that point, they sign up with the brokerage. A lot of times it's like, oh, all right, go sell some houses.
Call the people you know.
Yeah. Call your sphere. Like, there's so much more that you can do. And that's why I think the failure rate in real estate is so high. I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
71% fail in the first 3 years.
Yeah.
Or the first year.
Yeah.
And then, 71% in the first year get out of the industry. And then 86% over the next 5 years.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
And there's still so many agents.
Yeah.
There's still so many agents that are out there. So, I mean, the whole thing just, it reeks of the barrier to entry being far too simple
Mm-hmm.
because this is a big deal.
Yeah.
The majority of people that are out buying and selling real estate,
Mhm.
this is the largest monetary transaction they're ever going to deal with.
It needs to be changed.
I think so.
I think so.
Yep.
I'm not sure what that looks like. If that looks like putting a minimum sales volume per agent. If
Could
you have
be.
to sell.
I mean, anything's possible. I
Yeah.
just know that taking a 40-hour class and then thinking that all of a sudden you're the subject matter expert, and this is
Yeah.
self-admittedly,
Oh, yeah.
you know, I'm going through this class and I pass my pre-licensing exam
Mhm.
and I schedule it in P.I.T.I. and I drive down to Southfield and I take my test
Yep.
and they don't tell you because I'm like, dude, I whooped this thing. I got 100%.
Uh-huh.
They're like, we don't tell people the scores. It's just pass fail. I'm
Yeah.
like, come on.
Right.
I'm
yeah.
like, give me a little insight here. I really feel like I did good.
Right. Yeah.
And they're like, no, we don't tell anybody. So I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, what the hell?
I know.
So I got my pass. They take my little picture,
Yep.
you know, and then I'm out of there. Hey, I'm licensed. Yay.
Yep.
And then I get into the industry and I'm like, I don't know a damn thing. I don't
Exactly.
know what's going on.
Especially with me, I got licensed when I was 25.
Okay.
25, 20. Yeah, I think 25. And I've never bought or sold a house before.
Sure. Your experience is you lived in a house.
I lived in a house that my parents bought. I had no idea
Right.
what that looked like.
Right.
I didn't go to any showings. My parents bought houses. I just, hey, we're moving. Pack
Yeah.
your stuff. And now but
They just throw some Home Depot boxes
Right.
at you. Get your shit together, kid. Let's go.
again, it's just through the sheer amount of volume that you do,
Sure.
you start to really get a handle on things.
No, and I think at the end of the day, it's not easy to buy or sell a house,
Mm-hmm.
but what it also allows you to do is we get to learn on the job a little bit. And
Yeah.
this is where mentorship comes into play,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and understanding like, hey, you need to have a good, again, talking about communication, you
Yep.
need to have a good relationship with your managing broker or some of your high level peers in the industry
Yeah.
that are going to allow you to learn from them
Yeah.
and glean a little bit.
And there shouldn't be any secrets. Like if an agent asks me, like, what I do how do I find for sale by owner information? I'm not going to be like,
Right.
oh, that's only for me.
Right.
No, because realistically, and this is going to sound rude, you're not going to do the work to get the leads and get the listings.
Right.
If I show you exactly how to find the numbers, you're not going to call them. I'm going to call them.
Right.
And I know that I'm better on the phone. I'm going to get the appointment. I'm going to get the listing. I'm going to get paid.
Right. And I'm not going to share my hard work with you just for the hell of it.
Exactly. But I will 100% show you.
Yeah.
I just know that.
You can watch me be awesome, but that's about the extent of it.
Exactly.
So, all right. Well, we didn't do too bad on this one. We're just over 20 minutes.
Okay.
I'll have to cut out my swearing from earlier because, sorry about that. But outside of that, this has been another great episode of Straight from the Agent. I am Johnny B. Good, joined by my man,
Connery Calkins.
And we will see you next week for episode 4.
Episode 4.
Dude, I'm stoked. It's been a lot of fun. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.